This is a mock interview conducted by ForumIAS Academy at New Delhi. The interview panel includes eminent academicians, retired bureaucrats, and other luminaries. The objective of the program is to acquaint the candidate with the format and expectations of the personality test conducted by UPSC.
May I come in, sir?
Please come in.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, sir. Good evening, sir.
So you've done electronics and then MBA also.
Yes, sir.
What do you think about the AI project which the government is very excited about? The PM talked of it, the Microsoft CEO talked about it. AI, AR, VR, so many terms they used.
Yes, sir.
What do you think is the future of our Indian economy in terms of revenue stream coming from this?
Yeah. So AI will play a major role in economy because it is a base for the digitization which is happening in current economy. So our current economy, in fact, it is planned that this part should contribute to the entire digital economy should contribute to at least 1 to 1.5 trillion in future to our overall economy, because this will help every sector of economy, in fact, be it agriculture or manufacturing or service sector. So it also, sir, supports startup business. So and so entertainment is again another industry which will boom a lot with coming of AI and AR VR concepts which are now emerging.
And even Satya Nadella talked about metaverse.
Yes, sir.
So how do you see the prospects of metaverse in this country? Is it only will be localized to urban areas, or will it penetrate the tier 2, tier 3 and rural pockets?
So initially, early adapters will be urban population, sir, but it will take some time to penetrate into rural areas. But sir, the concept is very interesting because, sir, it will help it helps an individual to explore a part in the online world where maybe and take some decision which might not be possible in the real world.
So it basically simulation type things?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you talked about trillion. So we also talked about, the government talked about 5 trillion economy.
Yes, sir.
We are now 3.5. How do you see we adding 1.5 trillion maybe by 26, 27, 27, 28? What are the areas which can give us that revenue stream?
So 2-3 key areas. So first is infrastructure boost. So in fact, there were reports that if government is willing to spend in infrastructure project like NIP, National Infrastructure Pipeline, that will help in contributing to 5 trillion economy, because it will have multiplier effect on different industries, be it logistics or other sectors. So second is MSME is other area which will help us in moving towards 5 trillion economy. So there's a need to build the entire ecosystem of MSME which will help different industries, sir. And so third is there's very good potential in exports also, sir. So I think, sir, these are the large areas which can help us to move towards.
So what exports do you suggest that we should focus on?
So currently our export has been in traditional areas like gems and jewelry, textile, and some part of agriculture. So but going forward with schemes like productive linked incentive scheme, government is planning to become a hub of electronics industry as well. So that can be a part of our export plan.
So you think smartphones will be exported from India?
Yes, sir, they can be assembled in India and then exported in the world from India.
What about semiconductors?
So semiconductor, I have read that currently India is dependent on Taiwan for semiconductors. So export potential, sir, I'm not really sure about the current export potential, because first we'll have to develop the industry. And so given the fact that it's a very high capital intensive and highly skilled laborers are required for that industry. So it
So we
will-
have Foxconn and Vedanta already in $25 billion deal in India.
Yes, sir.
So you think that will help us going forward
Yes, sir.
in the semiconductor market?
Yes, sir, definitely, because we'll get access to the technology and our manpower will also be trained in such highly skilled industries. So it will be a very helpful project for India.
So Swapnila, you have been assistant brand manager for ITC.
Yes, sir.
Tell me how Ashirvad brand atta is different from Shakti Bhog atta in terms of brand attributes.
Right. So Ashirvad Atta, it basically talks about its focus, emotional and mental focus, emotional and functional focus. So for functional focus, it focuses on the quality of the wheat which is procured from MP. So in its ad, it actually highlights MP fields, Madhya Pradesh fields. And in terms of the emotional connect, it talks about how it is very healthy. That is the entire brand communication with respect to Ashirvad Atta. So when it comes to Shakti Bhog Atta, so I am not very sure about its. I have not seen recent ads about that particular brand. But sir, it also tries to focus on the economy of the brand. Basically, how it is comparatively price sensitive as compared to Ashirvad Atta.
ITC also makes Mangaldeep Agarbatti.
Yes, sir.
Don't you think it's complete misallocation of capital? But a huge company like ITC is making the things which primarily should have been made by a small scale sector. I mean, how ITC justifies allocating capital for Mangaldeep?
So since last few years, ITC has been on journey of diversification. So it is trying to diversify apart from the cigarette portfolio. And because initial bread and butter was cigarette portfolio, now it is trying to expand it into foods and personal care. With regards to Mangaldeep, sir, so the market potential of fragrance market is actually very high. And and it is actually it works in synergy with their different businesses. So for example, they have the paper business as well. And they have a bit of fragrance business when it comes to their soaps and different body deodorants and all. So all this, basically the fragrance industry, so they're trying to cater different audiences in the fragrance industry by creating a synergy between different business.
Reasons of failure of John Player brand?
Sorry, sir?
Reasons of failure of John Player.
So I've not really read about case study of this brand.
You are from ITC. You are supposed to know everything from ITC. All right, no issue. Well, you have mentioned IFS as your first.
Yes, sir.
Well, I think you must have heard about a word called vaccine diplomacy. Yes, sir. Right. If I request you to please give me some idea, I want to start wheat diplomacy. What suggestions would you offer?
So, sir, first we'll have to see that with wheat diplomacy, our objective should be to establish India as a reliable partner to the world. So, for example, what we have seen is that last year we saw ban on wheat export. So such drastic bans should not be there. And those should be followed in very rare and extreme cases. So that is one suggestion which I would give. And second, sir, wheat diplomacy will also help us in establishing India as a soft power by feeding mouths of the world at such time. And third, sir, wheat diplomacy will actually help us in helping developing, especially the developing part of the world. So India talks about being voice of global south. So with wheat diplomacy, we will be walking the talk of being a global south voice. So we are not just voicing their concern, but also doing our action by providing them basic food grain for the population.
Okay, sir.
Thank you, sir. So hello, Swapnila. So you have worked with 3M. 3M is very famous for innovation. What do you think is the unique thing that they do, that leads to such innovative products that they have created?
So 3M invests a lot in recruiting scientists and other people, human resources from background which align with innovation. And so second thing is 3M has a lot of IPR as well, which are registered from company. So
Anything related to work culture?
yes, so even in terms of work culture, the work culture is very open, and it is a very intrinsic part of work culture that a manager is supposed to accept ideas from employees, no matter how good or bad the ideas is.
Okay, so was this kind of flexibility available to you also when you are working in 3M?
Yes, sir. So I was given full freedom to come up with new ideas.
But this kind of thing might not be available in the government. When you are working for the government, you have to take strict orders, even if, a lot of times it may not to confirm with your personal values. Maybe like you said that you wanted balance. So how would you deal with such kind of a situation? Because working in 3M and working with the government are two very different things.
Yes, sir.
So how will you balance that?
Right. So see, my objective here is to ensure to get that personal gratification. If I talk about the balance point which you were mentioning, so here is to get personal gratification, and so I'm sure even whatever orders comes from government, that is for at the end of the day welfare of our people. So I don't think there will be any issues in executing that order. And sir, even in fact in recent days I have also read about how bureaucracy is changing and how government is pushing for innovation and technological adoption even within bureaucrats. In fact, innovation is rewarded in many areas in government. So I think that culture is also emerging in government.
Okay, so innovation is rewarded. Can you give some example?
So for example, I remember during COVID times when government was asking people to wear masks and there were some non-compliance cases were coming up. So that time a magistrate, so they started distributing masks in temple, whoever was coming in temple. So that was a very innovative idea of understanding consumer behavior and how to get action out of that. So I think even that is a part of innovative idea.
Okay, thank you. That's all from my side. I'll pass on to the next panel member now.
Hello, Swapnila. Now, recently, when people got vaccinated, their vaccine certificate had the photo of the Prime Minister. According to you, was that a marketing campaign?
So I don't think it was a marketing campaign, and objective there was to improve to get people's respect from that particular campaign by putting a photo. Sir, I think there it was more of a credibility, it was coming more from a credibility point of view, that on your certificate you also have a photo of Prime Minister which shows the credibility of the vaccination which is there.
Without the photo, the certificate would not have any credibility. Should we have it on the passport also?
No, sir, it's not that without the photo credibility will not be there. It's just that it enforces that credibility in the entire certificate. But when it comes to passport, sir, I don't think there is a need to get any Prime Minister's photo on passport. Because, sir, again, the passport is generally for a very long tenure.
Why not? We should have it on the Aadhaar, the PAN, everywhere to add credibility, according to you.
So these documents are meant for personal identification, and when it comes to identity of a person, I don't think so there needs to be a photo of any Prime Minister there. It won't serve, I don't think it will serve any purpose for public welfare by putting a photo of a political...
But a vaccine certificate is also for personal identification only, right? That whether an individual has got the vaccine or not.
Yes, sir.
Anyway, most of the government schemes also, when publicized, there is a lot of budget which is spent on marketing of government schemes.
Yes, sir.
And instead of telling about the scheme, most of the advertisement covers the politician's face. What is your take on that?
Yes, sir. So in that area, I feel that there should be more focus on the scheme, on what are the features of the scheme, who are the targeted beneficiary, and
Why do they add the photo then? Credibility.
so credibility. So in government schemes specifically, many times it is because of the populist measure to capture that to capture that space in citizen, that this scheme is initiated by central government and not say state government, and which can help to gather that to help a political party gather the top of the mind of citizens.
Okay. All right, Swapnila. Thank you.
Okay.